We're both in barrels. That's the extent of my knowledge.
Number 10. A dry dunking. How to train your dragon. When tasked with killing a dragon, Hiccup defies his village's rules and chooses to befriend Toothless instead. His secret is discovered by Astrid when she finds him with his dragon companion. To show her the possibilities of training, Hiccup takes her on an adventurous flight.
Hey, I'm sorry. Just get me off of this thing.
The scenery and water animation of this sequence are stunning, but there is one detail that is hard to shake off. Toothless dunks his riders in the water multiple times.
Toothless, what are you doing? We need her to like us! And now the spinning. Thank you for nothing.
Fan noticed that just a few moments later, neither rider looked wet at all. The air they're flying through would need to have hairdryer-like qualities to get them bone dry so quickly.
Alright, I admit it. This is pretty cool. It's amazing. He's amazing.
Number 9. Unintended Transformation. Beauty and the Beast.
Absolutely nothing of interest at all in the West Wing. Dusty, dull, very boring.
Ah, so that's the West Wing.
Nice going.
I wonder what he's hiding up there.
You need a painter's eye for detail to catch this mistake. The story begins when a selfish prince is turned into a hideous beast.
Prince tried to apologize, but it was too late, for she had seen that there was no love in his heart, and as punishment, she transformed him into a hideous beast.
After the transformation, the only hint of his previous form is in the portrait Belle finds in the Forbidden West Wing. She struggles to get a clear view because the portrait is shredded. The prologue of the film makes it clear that the beast destroyed it himself.
Ashamed of his monstrous form, the beast concealed himself inside his castle with a magic mirror as his only window to the outside world.
Those slashes seem to have magical properties as well. The cursed prince claws the picture from left to right, ripping across one eye. Later, when Belle is trying to put it back together, the cuts are shown right to left, and the eyes are spared. Number 8. Magic 8 Ball. Toy Story. There are some very mysterious moments in the Toy Story franchise that are either good editing mistakes or supernatural spookiness. In the first film, Andy drops Buzz on top of Woody to run off with his mum to get pizza.
Oh, all this packing makes me hungry. What would you say to dinner at, Pizza Planet?
Pizza Planet? Oh, cool!
At first, the only things on the desk are the toys. When they come to life, a magic 8 ball sits right next to Woody.
One toy.
Just one?
One toy? Will Andy pick me?
Apparently, it popped into existence just so the cowboy could get some otherworldly guidance. In the second film, Ham has to quickly turn the TV off to prevent discovery. The screen goes to black, and we can see the reflection of the room.
Turn it off! Someone's gonna hear!
Which one is off?
That's Ching Ching Ching! Hurry up!
Right out loud, it's this one! I despise that chicken.
Did you notice that Ham and Rex have no reflection? There's no such thing as vampire toys, right? Number 7. Forgettable Family Friends. Incredibles 2. Elastigirl is surprised to discover that Evelyn Dever is actually the villainous screenslaver.
I counted on you.
That's why you failed.
What?
Why would you count on me? Because I built you a bike? Because my brother knows the words to your theme song?
What's even more astonishing is that the Incredible family had never heard of the Devers before their offer to help. Evelyn's father was a fan of superheroes and friends with Gazerbeam and Phyronic. He even had a direct line to reach them from his home.
He got to know many supers personally, even installed a phone with direct lines to Gazerbeam and Phyronic in case of emergencies. He loved that, showed it off to everyone.
Evelyn's evil turn is motivated by the lack of superhero help when her father needed it most. Since Gazerbeam attended the Incredibles' wedding, they were clearly good friends. Isn't it likely that their mutual buddy would have mentioned the altruistic senior Dever?
Father insisted they call his superhero friends. He died. Pointlessly. Stupidly. Waiting for heroes to save the day.
Number 6. Tiger Bite. Aladdin. Princess Jasmine was unenthused about being married off to a foreign prince. She was also not about to put up with any disrespect.
I will win your daughter.
How dare you?
All of you, standing around deciding my future? I am not a prize to be won.
We can assume this was Prince Ahmed's mistake because her pet tiger Raja taught him a lesson by taking a bite out of his pants. Or his underpants? It's a confusing situation. As the overdressed stuffed shirt prince exits the palace, a ragged hole in his purple pants is visible.
I've never been so insulted!
Prince Ahmed, you're not leaving so soon, are you?
Good luck marrying her off!
However, his princely posterior is still covered by intact heart-patterned underwear. A moment later, Raja appears with a large piece of the heart fabric in his mouth.
Jasmine! Jasmine! Jasmine!
Did Ahmed's pants magically change patterns after the bite? Or did the protective tiger take a bite from a different location? Number 5, multiplying barrels, the road to El Dorado. This treasure hunting adventure begins when Miguel and Tulio cheat at dice to win a map to the legendary El Dorado. When their victims learn of the deception, the con artists escape by jumping off of a roof.
I'll bet we can make that.
2 pesetas says we can't.
You're on!
Luckily, there are 2 barrels to break their fall. They look at them from above, and it's clear that no extra containers are hidden behind. Observant fans picked up a continuity error a moment later. Annette picks them up and swings them over to the ship.
Whoa. What's happening here? We're both in barrels. That's the extent of my knowledge.
When the offloading begins, there are 6 barrels in the net. Where did those extra 4 come from? Number 4, where's Russell? Up. Carl Fredricksen is too busy readying his house for a balloon-fueled trip to Paradise Falls to deal with guests.
My name is Russell, and I am a wilderness explorer in Tribe 54.
Slow down.
Wet Lodge 12.
Kid!
Are you in need of
Thank
any
you, but I don't need
assistance
any
today?
help.
So when a young wilderness explorer shows up on his porch to offer assistance, the cranky curmudgeon sends him on his way. Or so he thought. Once his house takes flight, Carl discovers the terrified tyke clinging to the wall near his front door.
Ah!
Hi, Mr. Fredricksen. It's me, Russell.
What are you doing out here, kid?
But how did he get there? We see every part of the house as it soars into the sky, but there is no helpful 8-year-old in sight. Maybe Russell will soon be adding a stealth badge to his Wilderness Explorer sash.
Wilderness must be explored. Go, go! Roar! It's gonna be great. There's a big ceremony, and all the dads come, and they pin on our badges.
Number 3, teleporting mice. Shrek. The 3 blind mice frequently show up in unexpected places in this ogre-sized fairy tale. When Lord Farquaad banishes the fairy tale creatures to Shrek's swamp, the rodents are the first to arrive.
Well, gents, it's a far cry from the farm, but what choice do we have?
Well, it's not home, but we'll do just fine. What a lovely bed.
This leads to all sorts of grand adventures for the cranky ogre, including his romance with Princess Fiona. The mice show up to the wedding just in time to be transformed into coach-pulling horses for the bride and groom's exit.
That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. And then I saw her face.
Moments after the coach leaves, they're seen at the reception dancing on the piano keys. As the song winds down, the film closes with a shot of the Onion coach being operated by the coachman and horses.
The people in the back! I believe!
That's some fast transformation and teleportation. Number 2, follow your own rules. Cinderella. A big inconsistency in the original animated Cinderella is the shift in her wedding gown. As she waves goodbye to her friends through the carriage window, her dress clearly has long sleeves. A moment later, as she kisses Prince Charming, she has bare arms and shoulder puffs. It could be a mistake, or it could be that Cinderella's clothing and accessories are always magical.
Just a minute. You must understand, my dear. On the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before.
The first instance of this is the way her glass slippers break the fairy godmother's rules. She explains that everything that's been transformed for the ball must revert back at midnight. When the clock strikes 12, all of the mundane items change back, except the shoes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. True love breaks shackles. Tangled. When Flynn reaches for Rapunzel's face, his shackles are gone.
Rapunzel? Wait.
What's the name? The Princess and the Frog. The menu for Tiana's restaurant says place, but the building says palace. The Dinglehopper keeps changing tines. The Little Mermaid. The fork Ariel picks up has 4 tines, but in her hair it has 3.
It's not often that we have such a lovely dinner guest, eh, Eric?
Shifting branch. The Lion King. The branch Simba clings to keeps changing shape. An extra arrow. Kung Fu Panda. 4 arrows are shot at Tai Lung, but there are 5 in the ground. Number 1. Who are you? Alice in Wonderland. The magical land at the bottom of the rabbit hole is full of quirky and unexplainable incidents.
I suppose you call me a genus, humanus, Alice.
Ever see an Alice with a blossom like that? Come to think of it, did you ever see an Alice?
Yeah.
While attending wacky tea parties and crazy croquet games, Alice is always running into the unexpected. Who could have imagined that things would get so mixed up and turned around, they'd forget how to spell the name of Wonderland's creator? On the title screen in the opening credits, Lewis Carroll's name is missing an L. It's a pretty major mistake, so possibly they put the caterpillar in charge? It's always had a weird relationship with letters. Honestly, they're lucky the Queen of Hearts never found out.
Off with his head!
Off with his head, off with his head, by order of the king. You heard what she said.
You're next.
Oh,
my dear.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.